From Central South Carolina and Southern Wesleyan University, the Southern State Showcase is just around the corner. John Nelson here, Nicole Morocco there. We got a lot of ground to cover this week.
Yes, we do. We have a lot ahead of us. Our first stop is Burnell University, where we catch up with a special tennis player. We also take a closer look at the NAIA's Champions of Character initiative. And of course, we spend a little time at this beautiful university. The Southern State Showcase starts right now.
The Southern State Showcase on Sports South is brought to you by Musco Lighting, Mississippi Gulf Coast, One Path Systems, and National Management Resources.
The Southern State Showcase is now underway from Central South Carolina. John here, Nicole there. Here's what we're going to have for you this week. We'll let you know how the Champions of Character initiative in the NAIA shows itself here in the Southern States Athletic Conference. We let you know about a feel-good story from Faulkner University in Montgomery. We show you around here a little bit, but where, Nicole, is our first story?
Our first stop is Burnell University in Gainesville, Georgia, where we catch up with a special part of the tennis tradition.
I started with tennis when I was 9. My parents wondered if we would be interested in any kind of sport, so they asked if we want to try tennis. So we started slowly, me and my sister, when we were 8 and 9, just to enjoy it. And then it got a little serious after a year or two, and then we started training more intensely with my dad.
Burnell tennis player Nelly Martirosyan was raised in Russia by her father and mother. At a very young age, her father had both her and her sister on a strict tennis training regimen.
During that year was wake up at 5:30. We'd wake up at 5:30 and head to tennis courts. We'll spend hour and a half there practicing. It included technique practice, and after that we'd just take a shower and head to school, have breakfast right there in the middle somewhere. And then after school we head to the musical school, have classes there, and then after that we had weight training. Weight training until maybe from 6 to about 8, and then by the time we get home, take a shower, it'd be 9 or 10, and then we would study a little, and then the next day it would repeat again.
While the training schedule was vigorous, Nelly and her sister rarely complained because they both shared a dream to one day attend college in the United States and play tennis at a collegiate level.
While you're applying to schools, you apply to different ones, and what I liked about Burnell that it was an arts school, and I was always interested in arts. Small school, which means you have more of a connection with students and teachers, and people know you. So it's harder curriculum, I think, and it's just, and coach had talked to me and my father before he passed away, and we both liked him, and I thought I would be happy here.
So she really added a lot to the team, and it was amazing how much she brought to the team as far as a tennis player and her dedication.
And once at Burnell, her tennis and academic careers flourished. She was named a member of the SSAC All-Academic team and is on pace to graduate this May. With her tennis eligibility expired, Nelly decided to join the Burnell cross-country team.
And my tennis eligibility was expiring, so I had to talk to Coach McIntyre, and ask her if I can run. And she said, sure, start practicing. And right after nationals with tennis last summer, last May, I started practicing after a week or so, and then I joined the team. It was one of the greatest experiences, actually, to be in another team. It's completely different kind of sport and teaches you different things. I enjoyed the whole team and coach too.
As her time at Brenau comes to an end, she can look back and see that dream she had as a little girl has come true.
It's a great accomplishment for any student, I think, to be in college and keep going and get to the graduation day. It's been tough, especially being an international student in US, but it's been a great experience and I would not change it for anything. It opened another door that we've been looking for since we were little girls, both me and my sister. So yeah, it's a great experience and I can't wait until May 4th.
Nicely done, Nicole, with the folks at Brenau University and the tennis program. A block is done. Lead is done. What's coming up next?
Up next, we learn a little bit more about the Champions of Character initiative, and we also have a feel-good story from Faulkner University. So don't go away. The showcase continues right after this.
On the Mississippi Gulf Coast, the fish are still biting. Our casinos are as exciting as ever, with 24-hour gaming and top-name entertainment. Our golf courses are open for play, and our seafood is as fresh as ever. There's plenty of fun for you and your family, and we welcome you with open arms. The Mississippi Gulf Coast, open for business, open for you. Book your visit today.
From Little League to the big leagues, Musco specializes in sports lighting around the world. Musco's light structure green sports lighting cuts operating costs in half with less energy use, cuts spill light by half, provides guaranteed constant light levels, and includes a 25-year warranty. For your budget, for the environment, Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Get in the game at playnaia.org.
How do students decide which college or university to attend? Of course, it's based on your reputation, but their first impression of your campus is so important. How do you make that first impression count? By making sure every detail is attended to, with manicured grounds, immaculate maintained buildings, and a welcoming feeling throughout campus. National Management Resources Corporation provides exceptional facilities management services. We make sure that first impression is picture perfect.
The number one can make or break a great game. One hit.
And it's gone back. It is out of here.
One goal. One shot. 1 second. When it comes to technology solutions, excellence is defined by one. One Path, competitively connected. One Path is proud to be the sponsor of excellence for the Southern States Athletic Conference.
If you're a fan of the Southern States Athletic Conference, then bookmark SSACSports.com. Visit daily for the latest results, news, standings, and webcasts. Follow your favorite teams and conference at SSACSports.com.
From Southern Wesleyan University, the Southern State Showcase continues now, and it's time to focus on the NAIA's Champions of Character initiative. It's a 5-point platform that the NAIA has for all of its student athletes, and what it does is it enriches the student athlete while they're on campus, and it's a way for them to continue to carry those values as they go off campus and into their postgraduate lives. What we've done is, here in the spring semester, caught up with some of the folks in the Southern States Athletic Conference to get their view of the Champions of Character initiative. Here's your sample.
That particular aspect of the NAIA is one of the most important parts, I think. It fits so well to the smaller college and to our university particularly, because it's very consistent with what we say we are.
This summer on our service day, the athletic department, all the coaches and staff participated in Habitat, and one of the hottest days in Mobile, they were up putting a roof on a home, and so it's not just the students, but it's everyone who gets involved. And so when we talk about champions of character, I think we hopefully set the example for the student athletes who then take that on themselves and take it into the community.
As part of the Champions of Character initiatives with the NEI, it's something that we have embraced internally. I'm really proud of our coaches because they understand the importance of, that being a foundation for our student athletes. We don't tie on a number. We don't say you have to do X amount of hours in community service. But what we hope is that we get them involved enough so that when they leave here, they have a foundation of civic responsibility, that they understand how important it is to give back.
The phrase and the concept certainly expresses, I think, the values and the heart of our institutions. And so we keep trying to find ways to be champions of character. We think that for the NAIA, that states the aspiration of our member schools. That's not the mission accomplished. That's the sort of the goal. That's the aspiration. And we see young women and young men out there competing, and our goal is for them to be that kind of quality individual that's expressed by the Champions of Character program.
So Nicole, once again, as the spring semester continues, we'll let everyone know just how the Champions of Character initiative impacts the folks in the SSAC, and that was just a small sample. Where are we heading next?
Faulkner University. They had a special addition to their football program last year. 61-year-old kicker Alan Moore joined the squad, and he immediately had a huge impact on everybody. Here are a few examples of what he meant to Faulkner University.
He kept things in perspective. He knew he wasn't a star. He knew he was played a role on the team, and I think he stayed pretty grounded, quite frankly, considering all the media. We had 148 media requests from like 30 states, every single major cable sports network, every major CBS, ABC, NBC, everybody wanted to talk to Alan Moore, and I was the guy that got to deal with that, so I pretty much know how he handled it.
He was an incredible guy. What was so crazy about it is that every week we had a major CNN to CNBC to ESPN to ABC, NBC news people on our campus with boom mics following around in the classes and the cafeterias, on the field at the games, and so it brought just a ton of notoriety to our school. Matter of fact, I'm from the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and every week a person would call me from the Dallas-Fort Worth area and say, "Hey, I saw you guys on the TV." So it brought us a lot of great publicity, but even more importantly, it brought us an older gentleman who'd been in the war and who'd lived life to the fullest, and he ended up, being right here in these same lockers as 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old men, and he had a lot of great stories, a lot of great experiences he shared with our team, and I talked to him the other day. He said, "Coach, I'd like to come back." He's working on the NAI to somehow get another extension and some eligibility issues that he's going to have to get through to come back for one more year, and he'd like to be a part of our new football program, and we've become great friends, and he's trying to get back for one more year.
You would expect me to say it was different, but it really wasn't. He would just fit in right along with everybody else, joking around, I mean, he just fit right in with us. It's kind of like he told us right from the beginning, just don't ever give up on your dreams of what you want to do one day.
You know about it for a while, and then I began to hear people on campus talk about this older gentleman, and so I began to inquire into it, and he had to get special permission actually to come back. Apparently there's some length of time that one has to complete their athletic, work. But fortunately the NAIA saw the value in doing that, let him do that, and it was I can't believe the press that he got. I mean, there were people on this campus from the beginning of the season to the end, from Canada all across the United States following that story, and it was quite remarkable. It really was. And my wife and I were present the day that he actually kicked his first extra point and broke that record. And so he came by my office one day and we visited for a while. He was an interesting fella, and so it was a wonderful experience for him.
No doubt about it, that was the feel-good story of the fall here. But the thing that I like the most is the idea that he might be coming back for a senior season at the age of 62.
Crazy.
I thought that was really nice, and especially since he's an old school guy and a straight-on kicker, I dig that. That's it for Alan Moore. What's up next?
Up next, we finally get to show you around this beautiful university, so don't go away. The showcase continues right after this.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase, Student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Learn more at naia.org.
From Little League to the big leagues, Musco specializes in sports lighting around the world. Musco's light structure green sports lighting cuts operating costs in half with less energy use, cuts spill light by half, provides guaranteed constant light levels, and includes a 25-year warranty. For your budget, for the environment, Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
How do students decide which college or university to attend? Of course, it's based on your reputation, but their first impression of your campus is so important. How do you make that first impression count? By making sure every detail is attended to, with manicured grounds, immaculate maintained buildings, and a welcoming feeling throughout campus. National Management Resources Corporation provides exceptional facilities management services. We make sure that first impression is picture perfect.
The number one can make or break a great game. One hit.
And it's going back. It is out of here.
One goal. One shot. 1 second. When it comes to technology solutions, excellence is defined by one. One Path, competitively connected. One Path is proud to be the sponsor of excellence for the Southern States Athletic Conference.
On the Mississippi Gulf Coast, the fish are still biting. Our casinos are as exciting as ever, with 24-hour gaming and top-name entertainment. Our golf courses are open for play, and our seafood is as fresh as ever. There's plenty of fun for you and your family, and we welcome you with open arms. The Mississippi Gulf Coast, open for business, open for you. Book your visit today.
If you're a fan of the Southern States Athletic Conference, then bookmark SSACSports.com. Visit daily for the latest results, news, standings, and webcasts. Follow your favorite teams and conference at SSACSports.com.
Welcome back to the showcase, 2 blocks down. Moving on to the C block, here at Connor Field, home of the Southern Wesleyan baseball team. And it's finally time to show you around this campus.
We are standing on the ground for NAIA All-American Cody Hightower, the impact that he had for the Warriors, but it's time now to let you know what else is going on here in Central South Carolina.
We believe that idealism is a good thing, and if they believe that they can graduate from here and run an orphanage in Mozambique, we want to give them all the tools possible that they can do that successfully. If they want to leave here and be involved with some kind of a business in Atlanta and be an ethical leader in that business, then we want to give them the tools in their toolbox to do that.
Founded in 1906, the purpose of then Central Wesleyan College was, and to this day remains as Southern Wesleyan University, to create an atmosphere in which members of the university community work together toward wholeness through bringing together personal faith, intellectual pursuits, and practical living. Southern Wesleyan University meets those needs of students with various abilities and backgrounds, enabling them to realize their personal and professional educational goals, accomplishing that through 42 programs of study. But the key for all undergrads at Southern Wesleyan is year one, invaluable to the learning process, both on the inside and the outside.
You know, the first year experience at Southern is something that relates to, first of all, understanding what it is to be in community. And then their responsibility in community. Responsibility is a strong character trait. And then it moves beyond that into how do I now take the gifts and talents, the abilities and skills that I have been given and turn them into something that can be for good to serve other people. And that's servant leadership at its core, the sense of what is it that I can bring to the table to make a difference.
And for the student athlete, the first 12 months is no different.
Athletics is hugely important, but it's part of those three, the spiritual, academic, and athletic. And we want them to understand that right up front, and that we're going to feed them in all three different areas. And then we want to be able to see that development as they go from freshman to sophomore to junior, and then by the junior and senior years, they're also then dumping back into those freshmen and sophomores that are coming in and up through the program. Also, I want them to be able to then recognize what that coach or what that faculty or staff member has been dumping into them, and then continually dump back into those people. And you see these commercials, the Coke commercials, where you see people doing something nice and it continues to have a ripple effect. We talk an awful lot about what is the ripple effect of your life. What is the ripple effect of you as a student athlete here at Southern Wesleyan? What's the ripple effect that your team can have in this community and abroad?
One of the cornerstones of any student's time at Southern Wesleyan deals with servant leadership, and for A.D. Williams to tell it, this past year's introduction to the athletes was a rewarding one emotionally and spiritually for everyone involved. Literally, it involved the washing of the feet for athletes to their coaches and vice versa. A speech delivered earlier in the day fit in for the message.
The interesting part of that, though, was that you would think that student athletes might not get involved in that, and that was really some of my fears. But we had a high participation of just voluntarily coming and saying, "Coach, would you wash my feet?" And the coach was able then to serve them in that way. Our student athletes then turned around and said, "Coach, can we wash your feet?" And really from that point on, we have seen that modeled throughout the year. And we haven't done it perfectly, and certainly we are not perfect, but it set the tone for what we wanted out of our student athletes and out of ourselves for the year, that we want to serve others.
On campus, there is a desire by Dr. Voss and the Southern Wesleyan community to bring to the fore adult and online educational opportunities and to provide more options academically across the board as a part of growth over the next 5 to 10 years. Since, as Dr. Voss will convey, it's all about excellence for the students.
They need not worry about the bottom of the Maslow's hierarchy in terms of their needs. We need to take care of those things so they can focus on learning and on really growing and developing as a human being.
Both Dr. Voss and A.D. Williams are also looking at the expansion of the athletic opportunities, adding women's golf this fall and maybe as many as 5 more sports down the line, benefiting not only the competitor but the casual on-campus athlete over time.
To me, when you offer those kinds of opportunities, what you're also offering is expanded opportunities for our regular students that aren't athletes. When you create tennis courts for a tennis program, now you have tennis courts for students to use for recreation and for our athletic and then our recreation area to use for courses. And when you offer more fields, you offer more intramurals. So it's really a great win-win for the entire student body when you think about expanded athletic offerings.
But for the man who enjoys the sea and its challenges, Dr. Voss knows the perils of being the new pilot on Southern Wesleyan's campus and making sure all of those looking to have the school succeed are taking the oars, watching the changes in the wind, and working as one.
Really, steering a ship is very much like steering a campus, where it's a we thing, it's a together thing. The other interesting thing about it is the alignment of all of the tasks to do the job. Requires so much collaboration and so much alignment so that everyone's going in the same direction. If you try to think about a ship that some people think you're going south and some people think you're going north, the ship is going nowhere now. And so really, for me, these first many months are all about alignment, about aligning the divisions, the departments, the thinking of the institution. We started a strategic planning process in the fall, and we probably got more done in the last 4 or 5 months than I have ever had on any campus. There's been so much support and so much hard work with everyone involved, and we've incorporated the whole campus community in the process. So with that, now we're coming out with a new vision, a tighter mission statement, really succinct core values for the institution. On that, we're going to build our strategies for the next 5 to 10 years and really know where Southern Wesleyan University is heading.
And that, Nicole, is the Warriors' tale from here in Central South Carolina.
Yes, it is. So that's all for the C Block. Up next, we'll tell you where we're going next time. But first, the Players of the Week.
The Players of the Week at the conference level for the week of January 30th are as follows. In men's basketball, it was Shorter's Walter Hill, who averaged 19.7 points, 7.7 rebounds, and 3 assists, while leading the Hawks to wins over Bruton Parker, Lee, and local area arch rival Berry College. Hill has been instrumental in Shorter's record-setting start this year, which includes time with the nation's #1 ranking. In women's basketball, it was Belhaven's Regina Jackson, who posted a career-high 42 points in a win over Faulkner. She followed that up with a 27-point performance over Spring Hill. Jackson leads the NAIA in total scoring as well as points per game.
There's a call to be answered. The spirit of competition is still alive inside. The desire still drives. The phrase student athlete has a great ring to it. Lasting friendships are ready to be made. You just want to keep playing. Game on. Get in the game at playnaia.org.
From Little League to the big leagues, Musco specializes in sports lighting around the world. Musco's light structure green sports lighting cuts operating costs in half with less energy use, cuts spill light by half, provides guaranteed constant light levels, and includes a 25-year warranty. For your budget, for the environment, Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
How do students decide which college or university to attend? Of course, it's based on your reputation, but their first impression of your campus is so important. How do you make that first impression count? By making sure every detail is attended to, with manicured grounds, immaculate maintained buildings, and a welcoming feeling throughout campus. National Management Resources Corporation provides exceptional facilities management services. We make sure that first impression is picture perfect.
On the Mississippi Gulf Coast, the fish are still biting. Our casinos are as exciting as ever, with 24-hour gaming and top-name entertainment. Our golf courses are open for play, and our seafood is as fresh as ever. There's plenty of fun for you and your family, and we welcome you with open arms. The Mississippi Gulf Coast, open for business, open for you. Book your visit today.
That was a look at the national rankings, so that's going to put an end to this show, John, but we got plenty to come next week.
No doubt about it. We are heading to Truett McConnell, so we will catch up with you from Cleveland, Georgia, and let you know what else is going on here in the Southern States Athletic Conference. For Nicole, I am John, saying play it safe, everybody. We'll see you next time.
On the Mississippi Gulf Coast, the fish are still biting. Our casinos are as exciting as ever, with 24-hour gaming and top-name entertainment. Our golf courses are open for play, and our seafood is as fresh as ever. There's plenty of fun for you and your family, and we welcome you with open arms. The Mississippi Gulf Coast, open for business, open for you. Book your visit today.
From Little League to the big leagues, Musco specializes in sports lighting around the world. Musco's light structure green sports lighting cuts operating costs in half with less energy use, cuts spill light by half, provides guaranteed constant light levels, and includes a 25-year warranty. For your budget, for the environment, Musco Lighting. We make it happen.
How do students decide which college or university to attend? Of course, it's based on your reputation, but their first impression of your campus is so important. How do you make that first impression count? By making sure every detail is attended to, with manicured grounds, immaculate maintained buildings, and a welcoming feeling throughout campus. National Management Resources Corporation provides exceptional facilities management services. We make sure that first impression is picture perfect.
At a time when sports are heading in the wrong direction, the NAIA is changing the culture of sport. Through the Champions of Character program, with the support of Buffalo Funds, our college students are learning character traits that change behaviors, and they're bringing the message to coaches, parents and teams nationwide. Visit NAIA.org and learn how your team can become champions of character.